Hello and welcome to the Real Life Alexa channel. I'm Alexa. It's Real Life. Today I want to talk about a true life crime story that has stuck with me since I first heard it. I watch a lot of true crime. I used to watch just information discovery all the time. There's a lot of channels on YouTube. I have to cut myself off every so often because the more you watch, the more your brain, that's what you see all the time. And so I'll take breaks for a while, go to watch like comedy or Disney movies and whatnot. But I was thinking about this and it came up in a conversation 3-4 weeks ago, and it's been sort of still sticking with me. I think the thing about this story is that there's a really good chance that if a piece of evidence had been followed, these two girls would have been found alive. So this is the 1999 killings of Kathy and Danny Freeman and the disappearance of their 16-year-old daughter Ashley and her friend Laura Bible. So Laura was spending the night with her friend Ashley at their house, and 5:30 in the morning there was a call that the house was on fire. The investigators went. They found the mother dead in the bed, and the house burned around her. It looked like she had been shot, and they didn't find anyone else in the house, so they sort of thought, okay, well, if the dad and the girls aren't there, he must have them. That was their working theory. After the house had been put out, investigated, and the families were basically given back control and let in, they walked in and they found the dad's body on the floor, boot print on the chest of his remains, which would have been bones at the point, in the middle of I believe it was the bedroom floor. And all of a sudden this became a, wait, if he's dead on the floor here, this theory that he took the two girls now no longer stands. There's a whole lot of conjecture about why this theory was come up with in the first place, why the police was so quick to jump on it and go with it, how they could miss this body in the middle of the floor. I've never been to a burned down house. I'm imagining a whole lot of fallen debris, soot, and if his body was reduced to bones and there was a lot of debris on top, like, you would think if they were investigating it very closely, they would not miss it. But I can also sort of imagine how dirty and gross and covered the floor probably was from the ceiling, the roof, everything falling down. And then the slurry of sort of mud made by the water to put out the fire. So the families hired a private investigator because they felt like the police weren't helping them. They weren't taking them seriously. They completely missed this body. Like, they needed help. So this investigator came by within the first couple days after this fire and this disappearance, and he found there were a bunch of things, but the thing that actually led to the break in the case was an insurance card for a woman for a car. And when he traced that to the woman, she was living with a gentleman. There are actually 3 gentlemen who were known acquaintances. He was apparently a drug dealer in the area. And then he traced the car to a junkyard, and it had girls' clothing and some other stuff in there that was really suspicious. And he took this to the police, and it was never followed up. And then I'm going to look up the date here when it was, a cold case for quite a while. It doesn't say the date, but eventually the police reopened or re-looked at it with a new set of eyes, right? And they found this note about this private investigator saying he had found this insurance card, the car, and all those. And so they actually went and finally followed it up. And two of the three men, and I'm not going to say their names, they deserve no publicity whatsoever. My heart goes out to the families, and that the remains or the bodies of these two young girls have still never been found. And it absolutely just, imagine the two of them so scared and telling each other, people will come and find us. And they like, there's a good chance they could have been found alive. And for whatever reason, this wasn't followed up on. And, for decades. And so it just sticks with me that this is probably one of the worst ones. And there's a lot of true crime stories out there, and there's a lot that I could probably quickly talk about that have stuck with me over the years. But this one, I think, is pretty egregious, because you can think, if I was in that situation, I'd really hope someone would come find me, right? You'd really hope that someone would follow the clues, and for whatever reason it wasn't. It just kind of hurts. I will leave a link to a video of this, that one of the first ones I saw on the case, a People Investigates article. There's multiple out there, and you can go and look. 2 decades. So I've just seen it. It says 2 decades this investigator kept that card that he found, hoping someone would come. So that's 9909 2019. 20 years. I think that I watch true crime because I want to understand people, all people. I think it's fascinating to think about and figure out what a person's motivations are and why they do things. But I watch true crime, and I cannot understand what causes people to do certain things. And so I keep watching it, thinking maybe I'll understand one day. And I don't understand. I think that I'm not alone in that with as popular. I mean, there's literally channel upon channel dedicated to true crime stories. It's this, maybe that's the understanding, is that we as humans are fascinated with understanding other people and figuring out, why they do what they do and how they do what they do, and like trying to make it make sense in our brains. And I think that curiosity to understand is almost sort of a way of living and a way of being. And if we do stay curious, side note, Ted Lasso quote, stay curious, it can definitely help us with everything we encounter in life. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. Going on planes definitely gets all this a little out of sync. So also the hair, sorry, it's all wet. It was either this or extremely greasy, so I was like, let me take a shower and then do this story. Fresh, clean, here for it. I'll leave the link to this story. It's the one that definitely sort of sticks in my mind the most out of all of the ones I've heard. This isn't going to become a true crime channel. There are people out there who do such amazing jobs with that. But I was just sort of thinking why this one stuck with me, and thinking about the curiosity of why I like true crime and why so many people watch true crime documentaries or listen to the podcasts. And I think it's just our human nature to try and understand the stuff we don't understand, the stuff that isn't normal, the stuff that we've agreed as society is really not okay. And why are there people who think it's okay? And how do they think it's okay? How do they live with themselves? And I don't get it. So I don't think many of us get it. But this is just a short video, I think, I hope. And really wanted to just jump on and kind of talk about morbid curiosity, but curiosity in general. And that's what's on my mind today. So if you made it this far, thank you. Drop a like, subscribe, leave me a comment, share the video, and let me know if there's something you want me to talk about, because I like to weigh in on a lot of topics. Like most people, I got opinions. So thank you for being here, and be kind to yourself.